Unfortunately, with the price of living, gas, and other things going up, lawnmowers have gone up in price as well. Today I'm going to show you why buying an old school John Deere heavy-duty lawn tractor is the perfect source for cutting your grass if you have a lot of grass, more than an acre to cut. Now this is a John Deere Model 325. They made this in 1999 through I believe 2005. And this was one of the best lawnmowers you could buy at that time. It's got a 18 horsepower V-twin Kawasaki engine in it, which is a phenomenal engine. If you ever are looking to go buy a John Deere, I would recommend either buying one with a Kawasaki or a Kohler Command single cylinder. These are one of the best engines, small engines made, in my opinion. They last forever. They're Japanese made, so if you take care of them, they will take care of you. Very solid. They don't take a ton of oil. This one says on here, previous owner wrote 1 1/4 quarts, so that's pretty easy to maintain. You'll notice that this is a better battery. It looks like a car battery, not one of those 300 cranking up small lawn tractor batteries. And this is, in my mind, considered a garden tractor, not a lawn tractor. This is bigger, it's got more power, and it can cut a lot more grass and last a lot longer than any type of lawnmower you could buy at a box store. This was not bought at a box store. My customer who sold this to me bought this at a John Deere dealer for, I believe the original purchase price was a little over $6 grand. I bought this mower for an excellent price of $100, and it runs great. I got it going. It cuts grass beautifully. It's got a bagging system, which I'll show you on the back in a little bit. This thing was really maintained for its age, and the owner really did care about their lawnmower. They just wanted something newer because this was getting a little too old for them, and they did not want to take the chance of breaking down. My customer sold this to me about a month ago because they had it inspected by a different company, and the company wanted to charge him $1,200 to fix it. Now I went through that entire quote, and what they wanted to charge for stuff was ridiculous and frankly overpriced and unnecessary. They wanted to charge for governor seals and valve cover gaskets that were so-called leaking, and I don't see any leaks. I already looked, and anyways it would be smoking if it was leaking because your exhaust pipe is right there, and there's your valve cover. Here's your low oil sensor right here. Looks perfectly fine, no leaking. This deck is very solid. This is all stamped steel, and so you can bet most of the time that these will not rot out. These are pretty solid decks. The company told them rather, that they needed a new deck belt. Yes, I know this is dirty. I have to clean this off, but there is not a single tear or nick in this belt, in either belt. These mower decks have 2 belts. One by the PTO clutch, which is right here. As soon as you kick the PTO on, it spins this belt. It spins a pulley in the back that spins the rest of the deck on the second belt, which is more efficient in my opinion, as you know, you have 2 belts to replace instead of 1, and they don't get too much excessive wear. I like that system, and I wish they still made lawnmowers like that. They also said the dry belt was bad. I looked at the dry belt, it's perfectly fine. One thing that this has wrong with it is the hood, which is notorious for cracking on all John Deeres with this type of plastic hood. Owner ran into the fence and accidentally broke that off, which is fine. I don't plan on replacing that because these are about $250 in the 2022 time. So it doesn't make sense for me to replace it. This has got a car type battery, not one of those 300 cranking amp 12-volt batteries. This is a more expensive battery that you know will last a lot longer. As you can see, it says 500 cranking amp battery, which is pretty powerful for this engine. Very comfortable seat. I also had to replace these springs underneath them. Whoops. These springs were completely rotted away. You know, as they get older, they tend to rot away. It is just a rubber spring. We lost the seat drainage pipe, if you will, so your seat doesn't get all wet. This mower has hydraulic lift for the mower deck, and it has power steering, which is not something you commonly see anymore. It's more or less on the utility tractors, you know, that Kubota makes, and other companies. John Deere makes one too, but they go for about $12,000 now. You know, I recommend getting this lawnmower because these garden tractors are being phased away. You don't see many of these anymore of this quality, and no one makes them like this anymore. Like I said, this is a 1999, and it looks incredible. Yes, it's a little dirty. I still have to clean this off, but it is a pretty damn nice mower. I also got this bagging system with it. It's a twin bagger, and it's got this turbo blower. That's what I call it, a turbo blower. Perfect for leaves in the fall. It just attaches on this little peg right here, and then you got your dual pulley, stack pulley, that you can put your hook up your belt. And this bagging system is pretty easy to install. The only thing you're going to need is a 10mm socket and a vice grip to put this little plastic tube on. This flips open pretty easily, and bags are pretty relatively deep, so you could be collecting a lot of grass on this thing. These tires are pretty big. If you can get this thing stuck, I'd be pretty surprised, because this thing has got massive tires with pretty deep tread. I've never had to see somebody replace these unless they're dry rotted, and in fact mine are not dry rotted, so that's pretty good. Another thing is this transmission. I love this transmission. These are super bulletproof. It is a Tuff torq. I can't think of the model off the top of my head, but I will put it in the description once I figure it out. I had to do a transmission fluid change on this unit. The company that looked at it before I did charged them for all kinds of, wanted to charge them for all kinds of other things that it didn't need, but they never even realized that the oil was not even touching the dipstick on the transmission. So I had to spend an extra $100 to change the filters and the oil in the transmission. This takes John Deere special oil. It's called High Guard. You can buy it on eBay or Amazon, $93 for the kit. You also have to buy two oil filters for the transmission. One is right there with this cap right here. That's your one filter. And then the other one, which I'm not going to probably be able to get on camera without dropping the deck, is underneath here. So I just dropped the deck here real quick. That's your second filter that you have to replace right there. And it's about $50 for that filter. So total of $150. And I honestly, I'd say it's optional to replace that filter. Most people don't do it. And you can buy the kit for $93. And if it was really necessary, it would come with that in the kit. So I really don't think it's necessary to change that every single time you change your transmission oil. They do say, I believe, that you need to change your transmission oil. Well, let's find it real quick. Change transaxle oil and filters. Follow it down. Let's see here. So they want you to change it at the first 50 hours, and then they want you to change it every 250 hours. I would say change it every 200 hours. That's what I do on my Simplicity lawnmower with the Tuff torq K46 transmission. This lawn tractor has got 1,005 hours, almost 1,006 hours. And as you can see, it has a 5-digit hour meter. So most people say that over 1,000 hours on a lawnmower is a lot. Well, on this lawnmower, it has 5 digits, so it could go into 10,000 hours with good maintenance. It's all about maintenance. Taking care of your lawnmower will extend its life period. So guaranteed, if you take care of this, it doesn't smoke, and you're on top of your oil changes, I can almost bet you could probably get 5,000 hours easily with no maintenance, with no big repairs, just doing your regular oil change, cleaning the air filter and stuff like that. It really will go the extra mile and serve you well for a lot of years. That's why this thing is almost 25 years old and has lasted my customer this long, and will continue to last the next guy that I sell this to even longer. So there you go. That's my thoughts on the John Deere 325, and they make this very similar in different models. They make the LX models, which are smaller than this and usually have the 15 through 17 horsepower Kawasaki engines and Kohler engines, I believe. They last a long time. Transmissions in John Deere's are the best, especially the older ones. Nowadays they make all the plastic transmissions and they don't last very long. The spindles break and internal parts break, and when those fail you can't buy parts for them no more. So if you're looking to cut a lot of grass on your property, or you have a lot of grass to cut, excuse me, and this is the lawnmower for you. Big deck, and you can even get them bigger. And you can also get these with the snowblower attachment and snowblower cab. So don't be afraid to spend $2,500 to $3,000 on this lawnmower, because you will not regret it. As long as you know what you're looking for and you can find a good one in your area for a good price, you should not be disappointed. Thank you again for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.